Hello, everyone. Welcome to TSAM Digital. My name is Anna, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Shalini Kurukulastraria. She is the head of content solution at Asset. Welcome, Shalini.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much for being here. So I have the pleasure of speaking to you about a number of things today. And first of all, I know there's a lot of industry buzz around the Global Investment Performance Standards, also known as GIPS. What's going on there, Shalini?
Sure, Anna. So, the heightened focus on the GIPS standards, particularly in the United States at the moment, has to do with the upcoming deadline for compliance with the SEC marketing rule, which is on the 4th of November. And within the confines of that new SEC marketing rule, a GIPS report is now considered an advertisement. So there's a lot of work that needs to go into making sure that the GIPS reports are no longer just only compliant with the standards, but also compliant with the SEC marketing rule. So naturally, there's a lot of debate and discussion in the run-up to the deadline for compliance.
That's really interesting. And is this new marketing rule a big change? And what does it mean for a firm?
Yes, so it is, I would describe it as a sea change. It's very prescriptive in terms of how asset managers are allowed to kind of carry out their marketing activities. There are many details, so I will just focus on some issues which have been kind of top of mind for our clients at Asset. So the first one would be that the SEC marketing rule does not actually allow for gross performance to be presented on a standalone basis, which is admissible within the GIPS standards. But instead, it insists that when performance is presented, it should be net performance. And if gross performance needs to be presented, it needs to be done with sort of equal prominence. Number two is that particularly if GIPS reports are distributed to clients on a standalone basis, the SEC marketing rule insists that performance for 1, 5, and 10 years is presented, net performance, on an annualized or cumulative basis. And finally, while the GIPS standards actually allow for a composite to have non-fee paying accounts, the SEC marketing rule does not allow for that. So what firms have to do is to actually apply a model fee to the non-fee paying accounts.
It sounds like there are a lot of new calculations and data points for firms to consider when creating pitch books and client presentations. How are firms handling all of these changes?
So, Anna, I can't speak for the entire industry, but I will speak to the experience of our clients at Asset. And there have been two areas which have been top of mind for our clients, and we've attempted to support them in that. The first is in instances where they've had composites with non-fee paying accounts, they've made the choice to actually apply a model fee retroactively across all the accounts and do so historically. And the second point is in instances where performance attribution is presented, they have decided to respect the spirit of the SEC marketing rule and show an additional line or column of information with respect to net performance, whereas historically it was always done on a gross of fees basis. But I'd like to note that it's not specifically required by either the GIPS standards or the SEC marketing rule, so it's very much an interpretation. But most of our clients have decided to take that particular route.
And one last question, if I may. Do you have any advice for firms, given that the 4th of November is coming up very quickly?
Certainly, Anna. So two things really come to mind. The first thing is that more asset management firms should really consider becoming GIPS compliant, not only because it makes complying with the SEC marketing rule easier, but because increasingly we find that asset owners are using compliance with the GIPS standards as a way to differentiate and screen among different asset managers globally. And second, I think asset managers should also continue to explore how to use software to automate the sales enablement process, which now includes GIPS reports, so that it's easier to assemble different types of GIPS reports, switch between different types of calculation methods with ease, and last but not least, be able to update it very quickly, accurately, and more frequently.
This is fantastic, Shalini. I mean, it's been such a pleasure speaking to you today. Thank you for sharing your insight. We look forward to seeing you again soon. And thank you again.
Likewise, Anna. Thank you for having me.